Zero Build is in one of the most controversial spots it's ever been in. I actually think Fortnite is changing Zero Build for the better, but I also think they're getting dangerously close to making the mode too confusing for the average player. Right now I can say it with my chest, Zero Build is not just no builds. It's pocket items, free movement, no fall damage death, if it actually works, budget bunkers, smoke grenades, Overshield refresh, glider redeploy, crossover mythics, broken mobility, and a whole list of things a brand new player has to understand before they even know why they died. That is the real state of Zero Build right now. The game is better, but it's also louder. So let's start with the positive. Zero Build finally feels like Fortnite is treating it as its own mode. For years it felt like Battle Royale with the build button disabled. You had Overshield, porta bunkers, shield bubbles, and whatever loot pool builds was already dealing with. Now it feels like Epic is actually asking, what should Zero Build be? Pocket items are a huge part of that. Replacing the old build button with a utility slot makes sense. You're not Peter Bada Pollo queuing in, so the mode needs another way to give players defense, permanent rotation, and reset options. Shockwaves let aggressive players move without spamming. Shield bubbles let your whole team hold space. Med Mist gives weaker players a panic reset. This isn't bad. This is Zero Build finally getting its own language, and that's fucking awesome. So now let's explore the problems. Zero Build needs movement. Unfortunately, not every fight turns into a cross-map chase. There's a difference between rotating smart and watching one player waste gloves, overdrives, shockwaves, redeploys, and rifts to travel halfway across the island. That's where Zero Build starts feeling messy. In builds, players can stall, box up, tunnel, or 90 to the sky. In Zero Build, players stall with space. So when the game gives everybody more ways to create space, fights get harder to finish. That changes the rule of the mode. Before, if someone made a bad rotate, they died. And to an extent, they still can. But now, a bad rotate can turn into a shockwave, glider, 5+ bunkers and bubbles, 3 dashes, another glide, and then somehow they're alive on the next hill. Impressive? Not really, but great for survival. So that brings me to this question. Is it bad when every fight feels like nobody is allowed to actually die? No deadly fall damage is one of the most interesting changes because, seriously, I get both sides. On one hand, dying to fall damage in Zero Build has always felt weird. Build players can save themselves with builds, while Zero Build never had the same safety net. So giving players a second chance makes sense. But here's the issue. Fall damage used to be one of the few hard punishments left in Zero Build. Now it's this annoying animation that drops you into 1 HP, and you're just delaying your death if anyone is standing near you. I mean, honestly, just kill me at this point. It's still punishment, but it's not the same. Is Fortnite putting back on the training wheels, rewarding players for bad movement? Because Zero Build may not be builds, but it also needs consequences. No consequences means the worst player gets bailed out too often. Then you add in the broken stuff. The tracer pistols are the perfect example. Cool item, fun idea, very Fortnite. But when players are infinitely dashing and finding multiple ways to do it in a span of 24 to 48 hours before Epic can fix it, that's a problem. Now the glider issues. That pit in your stomach when you're having a great game and the only option is a rift, but knowing a basic mechanic might not even be usable because who the fuck knows is pretty ridiculous. The game stops feeling advanced and starts feeling unstable. That matters more in Zero Build than people think, because movement is not just movement in this mode. Movement is defense, offense, escape, your rotation. So when movement gets bugged, the whole fight feels bugged. That's where Epic needs to stay sharper. And I've been saying this for a while. The people who find these glitches every season or update week to week should not just be posting them for views. Put some of them on the payroll. Have them break the season before the season drops. Because the community finds the broken stuff fast. Too fast even. And by the time casual players realize what is happening, their lobby is already full of people abusing it. So this is my biggest worry right now. Imagine a new player starting Fortnite Zero Build today. They're not just learning aim, they're not just learning positioning, they're learning pocket items, if it even shows up, when I can redeploy, and what makes it work, why did that fall not kill me, what's an overshield, there's 2 different bunkers, why did that player dash 3 times, what's that in the sky, what are anomalies, why am I being targeted, and so much more. That's a lot. Builds is hard because building is using a totally different part of your brain that isn't easily explained to someone who's never picked up the game. Zero Build is becoming hard because the rules keep stacking. And that's not the same. Build mode has one mountain to climb. Zero Build is becoming 10 smaller mountains that change height every few weeks. That's exciting for players who already live in the game, but for new players, that's fucking exhausting. I don't want this to sound like I hate the direction. I actually think Zero Build needed this. It needed more identity. It needed tools that were designed for no-build fights instead of just borrowing whatever build mode had that season. Pocket items are the start of that. Stronger structures? Great. Overshield refresh on eliminations is good because it rewards players for actually finishing fights. That's important, because Zero Build should not reward hiding. It should reward some level of clean aggression. The best version of ZB is not slow camping, and it isn't endless running either. It's a blend of smart pressure with enough tools to survive. And now we're getting into the new season on June 6th with even more movement and mechanic questions. The trailer already has people looking at the slide boots, new weapon types, sprites, possible power-up mechanics, and even more ways to move or buff yourself. That could be fire. Or it could be another layer on top of a mode that is already getting crowded. And that's the real point. Zero Build does not need to be simple, but it does need to be readable. A player should know why they won, a player should know why they died. And right now, sometimes Zero Build feels less like I got outplayed, and more like, what mechanic did I not know existed in this match? That's dangerous, because confusion pushes people away faster than difficulty. Players can respect the difficulty and get better. They hate feeling like the game is lying to them. So that's where I think Zero Build is right now. Better identity, better tools, better direction, but also more chaos, pun intended. More bugs, more running, and a bigger learning curve than people want to admit. I want Zero Build to keep evolving. That's why I make these videos. I just don't want it to become a mold where every season adds 5 new mechanics, 3 broken interactions, and another reason casual players have no idea what killed them. Zero Build shouldn't be Fortnite without building. Right now it's starting to feel like Fortnite without rules. That's the line Epic has to watch.